What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Thrift Store Rundown, where we bring Hollywood home on a budget. How low can you J-Lo? The answer is very, very low. I promised you that I would do a J-Lo triple feature, and here we have 3 of her films. ANACONDA, which I bought for $2.69 and got for a 50% discount. Enough, which I purchased for $3 even at a different thrift store. And The Boy Next Door, which I purchased through Amazon for $5.89. We'll start with ANACONDA. By the way, these films are presented in the order of my highest approval. And ANACONDA certainly gets the highest rating from me. I'll tell you about that after I read the back of this. It's a slick, scary, funny creature feature, says the man, the myth, the legend of all reviewers, Roger Ebert, the Chicago Sun-Times. It is an action-packed thriller starring sexy Jennifer Lopez, rap superstar Ice Cube, Academy Award winner Jon Voight, and Eric Stoltz. A documentary film crew headed by anthropologist Steve Cale and director Terry Flores ventures into the world's most isolated jungle, the Amazon, in search of a lost and forgotten civilization. Early in their journey, they come to the aid of Paul Cerrone, a Paraguayan guide, played by Voight. I'm mispronouncing celebrity names. I hate to mispronounce locations. Who joins their expedition? But Cerrone is actually a poacher on the trail of a legendary snake. When Cerrone hijacks the boat and its crew on his quest to track and kill the giant snake, he steers the expedition right into the path of the deadly monster. Get ready for a wild, scare-a-minute thrill ride, because ANACONDA will grab you and take your breath away. These are the quote-unquote special features. The only special feature I would consider to be special is the theatrical trailer. Other than that, nothing at all. Rated PG-13 for intense adventure violence and for brief language and sexuality. Running time is 89 minutes approximately. This is the highest rating for me. It's not perfect. It does have a few flaws. The acting is unbelievable at times, and I mean that in a criticizing way, not in a, well, it's so unbelievable you have to see it way. Not in a good way. Plus, some of the special effects I think I could take issue with. But all in all, ANACONDA is rollicking good fun. Now, enough. ANACONDA is the one that you can actually watch guilt-free, because you know you're in for a good time, a fun time. Enough you watch with a little bit of guilt as you meet Slim. The protagonist in this movie is suffering some major domestic violence issues at the hands of her husband, Mitch. Working-class waitress Slim thought she was entering a life of domestic bliss when she married Mitch, who was played by Billy Campbell, the man of her dreams. After the arrival of their first child, her picture-perfect life is shattered when she discovers Mitch's hidden, possessive dark side, a controlling and abusive alter ego that can turn trust, love, and tranquility into terror. Terrified for her child's safety, Slim flees with her daughter. Relentless in his pursuit and enlisting the aid of lethal henchmen, Mitch continually stalks the prey that was once his family. Finally, Slim is forced to fight back, engaging Mitch in a physical and psychological battle, showing him that she's had enough. Jennifer Lopez delivers an electrifying performance as a new breed of action hero in director Michael Apted's harrowing, high-style thriller hit. Now, the special features I would consider to be special here are the theatrical trailer and her music video called Alive, which plays at the end credits, which I think is a little too much explosive for this kind of film. This film has its flaws as well. Here is the major plot element that I take issue with. The fact that there's no courtship, it's just straight off to the altar. That's a little too much for me. I would rather they just get engaged and have the child, and then all this would happen before the wedding, in which case there would be no wedding. So, that's my complaint about Enough. As far as the DVD goes, To Have and to Hold, Conquering Hero, How They Met, Our Happy Family, More Than Enough, Get Out, You Can Run, New Leaf, Take Care. Basically, the titles of the scenes here and the scene selections that are all caps, they actually display the titles for a brief second before those scenes play, which gets a little bit annoying at times. And the climax of the whole thing is just a little too unbelievable and a little too corny for me. I would have liked to see like a martial arts style climax between Slim and Mitch, but that's just me. On the other hand, that would take away from the entire grounded element of the story, which is staged in reality. And for anyone who's been through a similar situation like Slim, you want to pop this DVD in and forget about some of the criticizable plot elements throughout this movie. Rated PG-13 for intense scenes of domestic violence, some sexuality, and language. Running time is approximately 116 minutes. I enjoyed enough. Lastly, we come to what I consider to be the worst in this trilogy, The Boy Next Door. And I consider this to be the worst because I've seen better erotic thrillers, and this is definitely not one of them. J-Lo stars as Claire Peterson, a high school literature teacher struggling to get back in the dating game after separating from her cheating husband, who is played by John Corbett. He plays Garrett in the film. When handsome and charismatic 19-year-old Noah, played by Ryan Guzman of Step Up Revolution, and Pretty Little Liars, more specifically Jake, one of Aria's love interests. Lucy Hale, I gotta give it to her. I mean, she is the odd one out of the bunch and gets all the hot gentlemen. Anyway, when Noah, played by Guzman, moves in next door, Claire has a moment of weakness that leads to an extremely intense and intimate night together. Noah's attraction quickly turns into a dangerous, violent obsession, forcing Claire to her limits as she protects her world from being torn apart. This film is the worst out of the entire trilogy I'm featuring today. Lifetime grade dialogue, cardboard cookie cutter execution of that dialogue. Some of the cinematography is bad. The score by Randy Edelman and Nathan Barr is bland, but fitting. This is definitely not one of the better movies I've seen in a while. Rated R for violence, sexual content, nudity, and language. Running time, 1 hour and 31 minutes. Just 91 minutes. Rob Cohen said that this would be Fatal Attraction for 2015, not 1990. Well, first of all, Rob, Fatal Attraction was produced in 1987, not 1990. Second of all, you could have done better. Barbara Curry, the screenwriter, who was a former criminal defense lawyer, could have done better with the screenplay. Neither of them did. J-Lo could have done better with her acting. John Corbett could have done better with his acting. Ian Nelson, who plays Claire's teenage son Kevin, I think he was halfway decent. Kristen Chenoweth, who plays Vicky, Claire's best friend and vice principal of the school that she's assigned to teach at, Monroe High, Kristen Chenoweth was halfway decent. The deleted scenes had more better acting than the entire film itself, with Garrett asking Claire out on a date to try and rekindle their marriage because they're going through a divorce in this film. That was the only scene I liked out of the special features, and quite possibly out of the entire movie. If you're not looking for art, and you don't have any limitations, I guess you could certainly enjoy this. So, let's put this to bed the way Ryan Guzman did to J-Lo in The Boy Next Door. Anaconda. 3.5 out of 5 claps, which is 70 points. The best one of the lot, not perfect, but quite enjoyable. Enough. 60 out of 100 points. And The Boy Next Door, 2.5 out of 5 claps. That's 50 points. That's half of the full score here on the Thrift Store Rundown. The sex scene between Ryan and J-Lo was tastefully done, and there is some nudity in the other sex scene with Ryan and a neighbor. If there's any nudity, then it's shown for a fleeting second before it moves on to the next scene, which I can appreciate. And I'll say this about Rob Cohen's direction. When I saw Fatal Attraction and I saw Glenn Close topless, it wasn't pleasant. But the second sex scene between Noah and the next door neighbor, I can certainly say that that was one of the better topless scenes I've seen in a while. So, Anaconda's the best, The Boy Next Door is the worst, and Enough is somewhere in the middle. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed all 3 of these films, but let's get one thing straight in summary. J-Lo can't act to save her life. Her Golden Globe nominated performance as Selena Quintanilla Perez and her performance in The Wedding Planner doesn't do it for me either. I don't plan on seeing either of those films, although in fairness, my mother did watch Selena a couple times and absolutely adored that movie. She adores J-Lo. I can't say I do, but I wouldn't say I would not watch any of these films again. Thanks for watching the Thrift Store Rundown, bringing Hollywood home on a budget.